My name is Cormac Sheridan and I'm a journalist, write about biotechnology for Bioworld, which is a Thomson Reuters news service. And I came here actually in response to a very kind invitation to moderate a session. So I was invited to moderate a session on innovative immunotherapies, which we had yesterday, a very interesting panel of scientists. And obviously being a journalist, one never turns down the opportunity to get a good story as well, so I certainly intend to write about some of the things I've heard and write about some of the people I've met at this event as well. I was invited here as a sort of a participant in the sense of at least moderating a panel, but one is always a journalist regardless of whatever context one finds oneself in, so I'm certainly here as a journalist as well. I think I go to a lot of conferences like this one in various parts of Europe, and we always have these fevered discussions where we always end up sadly looking across the Atlantic to America and how things are so much better over there. And everybody kind of beats their breast and gets a little bit worried, and then we all go home and carry on our business. I think we can't really solve all of Europe's problems, if you call them problems, at one event. And the kind of ongoing fragmentation and the very specific characteristics of Europe, which will prevail regardless of how America structures itself. Europe is Europe and it will always be so. Those things will remain and we can't change them. We can obviously be aware of them and factor them into however we go about our decision-making processes. Possibly you might get political movement on some of the issues that might help the sector to grow more successfully here. But in general, we have a sector in Europe. It is developing, it's doing its best. It may not ever be able to keep up with the USA, but there is enough innovation here to make it worthwhile continuing the efforts that we're doing here. That'll be my view. When you work, as I do, in a remote location in terms of international biotech, I'm based in Dublin. I work from a home office. It's a very isolated place. I do a lot of my work on the telephone, obviously. Coming here, you put faces on people with whom you've had a telephone relationship for years, and that's wonderful. I've just come out of a meeting there and I met a very senior figure who was one of the great European biotech entrepreneurs, and I've known him for years on the telephone. We've never actually met. So it was a real pleasure to just say hi and catch up and see what's going on. That's the real value of all these events. Everybody comes into this location and there are all these exchanges, and that's the real value of these events, yeah.